Hello and welcome back to another Gunpla review. Today we're taking a look at the high-grade Universal Sentry HGUC experiment from 0080 or the Pocket. It's continuing this month's theming, I guess. It wasn't really intentional, but I just did the HGUC, now I'm doing the HGUC. Next week might be another 0080 kit, depending on how I'm feeling. So yeah, let's call it a theme. Anyway, like I just said, this is another kit from 0080 and from the opening, and gets even less screen time than the HGUC, so yeah, you don't really see much of it, but anyway, let's start off the review by, as always, taking a look at the articulation. Okay, getting into the articulation, and no head. Means it's an aquatic suit, so yeah, you can't really expect much of one, but yeah, the mono eye is not movable, and in fact it's actually molded as a separate piece, so you can't just like put the sticker somewhere else. It's actually permanently put in the center right there. Not really that big of a deal, but yeah, you don't really get a ton of let's say character out of this, and that's not helped by the fact that yeah, the torso does use a ball joint, but because of the shaping, that's the entire rotation you get out of it. Now you do get a really nice movement forward and back, but yeah, there's not a lot of movement there. The shoulders are, well, these are just on a swivel, but they are ball jointed, so you get just about 90 degrees out to the side, and the arm construction is a little bit weird. It's a stick. These are just sort of loosely connected on. And then there's a ball joint here at the elbow, which gets just under 90 degrees. So, you know, you can get the arm across the chest at least. And then all of these digits are ball jointed, which I'm not really sure why they bothered doing that, since it would have been just as easy to put them on hinges, but you get that little extra wiggle room, so you can't really complain. Moving on to the legs, the hip skirt can actually move around a little bit, not that it really matters. You get a pretty good movement to the front, decent to the back, pretty good splits considering these are ball joints. And the leg is the same as the arm in that these are pretty much just for show. That said, you do get a full 90 degree at the knee, though it does end up looking a little bit weird. And then you get down to the feet, which these panels are on a hinge, which is nice. And then you get the sort of weird thing going on with the feet in that it's a ball joint going up into the leg. And then these are on like rotational hinges, both the front and the back of the foot. And then also this thruster is on a ball joint, which I really don't get that. You would never be able to actually move that in a meaningful way, but hey, they wanted to put it on a ball joint, so whatever. So yeah, there's not a lot of articulation going on here, but it's not horrible. You can still get some decent poses out of it. And moving on to accessories, let's start off with the sticker sheet, and by extension, color correction. Start off with these. Focus. You get the Xeon logo for here on the chest. I left it off, and as you can see, the color matching isn't very good. And then you get the, I can never remember the name of the squad, but yeah, that's for here on the shoulder. Then all of these are color correction. These four here are for the vents here on the arm, which is almost color correct, but you do have to put the red trim around it. These ones with the black dots are for the front, and these ones are actually for the back. And yeah, let's talk about the elephant in the room. This massive red one is because the cockpit is orange plastic. Yeah, I managed to paint this pretty well, but you have to paint the cockpit? And let's get into the other stuff that you have to paint that isn't included on this. Like I said, these are included, but Yeah, the trim around this is supposed to be red, and that's not covered by the sticker. I did black around this, but it's not really necessary. Also, I painted the eye, even though it is a separate piece, because I don't really like the shade of pink they used. You also have to do the red trim on these ones, and of course the red trim on all of this, and also the black inside of them, and also this little vernier here is also painted, because it's just the gray plastic. Obviously the ones in the feet need to be painted, but also these little dark gray bits here on the foot need to be painted. And then kind of the big one, the hands. Focus. Yeah, the little bit of gray around the fingers aren't that big a deal, but all of the light gray on this center sort of circle, that's paint. The part is dark gray. It's definitely a weird choice to do that, but hey, whatever. It wasn't actually that hard to paint this, and the only other paint is on the only accessory, the little scuba backpack. You have to paint the light on the front. I did it in white, could also be silver, but I kind of like the white more. And these need to be red. And this just plugs right here in the back, and I don't know if I can even get the light on it, but yeah, it does. A little well-hidden peg hole there, or tab hole, whatever. And this just plugs onto the back. Doesn't do anything, but you know, it's there. And that's everything for the accessories. There's really not a lot to it. And for a quick size comparison, this is it's not really that much bigger than the normal HGUC in that it's a decently sizable suit and very chunky, but it is noticeably bulkier than the standard HGUC. So to wrap this review up, the HGUC is well, it's a lot crustier than the HGUC, but I don't hate it as much as I thought I would, and yeah, the sort of scales on the limbs are a little bit hard to line up, or, well, not hard, just irritating to keep them lined up, but nothing's really loose on it, which is not that bad considering half the joints are ball joints. And it wasn't really that much trouble to put together. Really, my biggest complaint is some of the really questionable choices for not color correcting, because yeah, the cockpit hatch and the hands really should have had better color separation on them, but oh well. It's a pretty decent price, and isn't too hard to clean up properly, so I mean, if you were interested in getting one, can't really say not to. But anyway, that's been all for this review. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to let me know what you think down in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, it helps a lot. Subscribe for future reviews and watch my backlog. Go follow me on Twitter for updates, and consider supporting me on Patreon so I can keep bringing you reviews, just like this one. And as always, until next time, happy building.